5, 4, 3, 2, 1, watch me.
Hey, 8th grade. We're going to go over days 13 through 15. Remember, this whole packet, 11 through 15, is for days 11 through 20, so work at your own pace. But refer to this video if you need further instruction or any help, okay? So let me make this smaller. All right. Let's scroll down. So here's your packet. I have it opened up on the school's webpage. So let me scroll. Okay. So day 13, you're still looking at the poem Frankenstein by Edward Field to complete the worksheet. So let's look. In the poem, the villagers think that the monster Frankenstein is dangerous and they begin to chase him with weapons. Why do you think the villagers are afraid of the monster? Make sure to use details from the poem. So think about the monster's physical appearance. Okay, think about why, if you saw something that looked like Frankenstein, would you be afraid? And maybe start to try to be brave and get rid of the monster. So think about why the villagers are afraid of the monster. And then one of the universal truths that is addressed in this poem is people in their ignorance will often make judgments on people or things based on appearance alone. So a universal truth, that's something that is known, that's very known and it's very common. This idea that a lot of people make judgments based off of appearance, almost anyone has heard of that idea or have fallen victim to doing that at one point or another. So do you think this is true? In general, do you think people often make judgments about people or things based on appearances without getting to know them first? So this is a reflection question for you and your thoughts and ideas and your own experiences. So while this is related to the poem, we're not talking about the poem in this short answer. This is kind of your opinion, your thoughts, your ideas on it, okay? So you can base that off of what you've experienced, what you think. It doesn't even have to be about people. Think about books. Often, if you don't like the cover of a book in the library, you might not look into it, right? So you judge a book based on its cover. Okay, so kind of think about maybe some ways you do that. Maybe when you're traveling with your family, if there is a really nice gas station on your left and kind of a rundown one on your right, you might pick the one on the left because it looks nicer, it appears nicer. Okay, so think about that, and that's kind of what you're doing for day 13. Let's scroll to day 14. You're still looking at the poem Frankenstein by Edward Field. So day 14, in the poem, the monster has a strong reaction to the blind man who offers the monster some bread. So you'll go back to the poem, look for the part where the monster and the blind man meet, and then you're just going to describe the monster's reaction to the blind man. It can be word for word, you can summarize it, just how does the monster react to the blind man? And then why do you think the monster reacts this way? Think about the human interaction the monster has had before the blind man, okay? So he was chased by villagers. The villagers were afraid of him. So was that first interaction with humankind good or bad for the monster? Okay, and kind of think about that experience might hinder the monster's judgment on humans. Okay, so if that's the only kind of interaction the monster has had with humankind, then it would make sense why the monster would react to the blind man in such a way. Okay? Now, day 15. one last worksheet, still looking at the poem Frankenstein. So one theme from this poem is that we should not judge people based on their appearance. Using details and evidence from the poem, so you can quote the poem, you can summarize the poem. How does the author of this poem illustrate this theme? So think about the villagers and how they reacted to the appearance of the monster. And then think about the fact that the blind man was kind to the monster, maybe because he couldn't see the monster. Okay, so look at your worksheets from days 12 and 13 to kind of help you. So the author portrays the theme that we should not judge people based on their appearance. So use examples from the poem, talk about the angry villagers, talk about the nice blind man, and how that kind of goes into effect with the theme of the poem. Okay, remember, a theme is the message that the author is trying to get across in the writing. It is not the topic, because the topic of this poem is Frankenstein, but the theme is what message or truth or moral of the story that the author is trying to get across, okay? So the author of this poem wants you to learn what? That is a theme, okay? So the theme, I've given you the theme, and now you just have to look at the story and kind of give me examples of how we can see that theme in the poem, okay? So good luck. Email me, reagan.lochner@hectorschools.net, if you have any questions. You can also send me a remind message, or I have sent out a phone number that you can call or text me at. Also, if you need further help on these AMI assignments, I will be posting YouTube videos to my teacher YouTube channel for just further guidance and further instruction if you're struggling. So that YouTube channel is called Literature with Lochner. And so check there if you still need some more help after watching this video. So good luck. I miss y'all, and I can't wait to see you again someday. Bye.
Hey guys, this is Miss Hamilton. I'm here to talk to you about your days 13, 14, and 15. We're combining math and social studies this time. You're going to be given data, talk to you about your U.S. presidents, about their age that they were elected into office, the age that they died, children that they have, information that you're going to use to collect your mean, median, mode, and range. You're going to possibly create box and whiskers plots, stem and leaf plots, frequency tables with histograms. Now, histograms are bar graphs. So I'm going to go through a couple examples with you to maybe refresh your memory on how to create some of these graphs. So here's a refresher on mean, median, mode, and range. Remember, mean is the average. Add up all the numbers together and divide by how many is there. You'll probably get a decimal, round to the nearest hundredth unless instructions tell you otherwise. Median, you have to order your numbers from least to greatest, and your median is your number that is located in the middle. Mode is the numbers that occur the most. You can have more than one mode. You can have no mode. Just depends on what your data gives you. And then also your range is your biggest number minus your smallest number, which would give you your range. Now, box and whiskers plot. I'm going to use the same data as before. You have to have these 5 points to create the box and whiskers plot. So you need the minimum, you need a maximum, and you need your median. Remember, median is in the middle. I ordered these from least to greatest before I did anything. Now, your lower quartile and your upper quartile, your median splits your data in half. So you're going to look at this lower half and what is in the middle of the lower half. In this case, it's 50. So that's your lower quartile. And then you ask yourself, what is in the middle of the upper half? In this case, it's 62. So that is your upper quartile. So now I'm going to use these data points, these 5 points, to create my box and whiskers plot. So I'm going to plot these above the number that they go with. 43, 50, 58, 62, 64. Okay? These last two create whiskers. So you'll just form a line connecting them, and they create the whiskers. These middle three are where the box is created. So you make a box around those two, and then you draw a line down the middle of your median. So that is how you create your box and whiskers plot. Here's how you create your stem and leaf plot. So your stem is your first digit of your numbers. So in this case, I just have 40s, 50s, and 60s. So my stem is going to be 4, 5, and 6. My leaves are my second digits. So I have a 43, a 49. So I just put my second digit, 43, 49. That's what that creates, 43, 49. So then I go to my 50s. I have a 50, I have a 52, and I have a 58. So then I go to my 60s. I have a 60, I have a 62, and I have a 64, and another 64. You have to order them in least to greatest. But that's how you create your stem and leaf plot. Now your last one is your frequency table and your histogram. So the frequency table is just created to help you make your bar graph. So how many numbers are between 40 and 44? You've got 1. Between 45 and 49, you've got 1. Between 50 and 54, you've got 2. Between 55 and 59, you've got 1. And between 60 and 64, you've got 4. So now I'm going to use these numbers to create my bar graph down here. So in the range of 40 to 44, I've got 1. So that's the bar. Between 45 and 49, I've also got 1. 50 and 54, I've got 2. 55 and 59, I've got 1. And then 60 to 64, I've got 4. Now, you'll create all of these graphs and plots based off the information that you're given in your assignment. Now, if you have any kind of questions, here are email addresses. So you've got my email, Ms. Charton's email, and Mr. Emerson's email. I also added on your instruction page extra YouTube video links if you need extra help. Hopefully this helps you get through these next couple days of work. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, 8th grade, it's Mr. Reed here. I'm going to talk to you right now about days 13 through 15 on the AMI. So, on day 13, you have an article that you're going to read about how to keep safe during the coronavirus issue. So what you're going to do is you're going to read that article, and then you're going to write a paragraph about what you're doing and what you need to do better about that. On day 14, you just have another article to read about the coronavirus and who it affects and what symptoms people show whenever they get affected by it. That's all you're going to do for day 14 is just read about that. And then day 15, there's going to be some questions about that article that you are going to answer in the instructions. If you have any questions, go ahead and contact me. You have my email, and you can let me know. Just write this down on a piece of paper and email your work to me. Make sure you're getting that to me so I can make sure to give you credit for the work that you've done for me. I hope y'all are staying safe and you're washing your hands and you're doing everything to make sure that this passes smoothly. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.
It's me again. Days 13 through 15, same thing. Do the English that's in the packet and do the math. You got this. I believe in you. Hopefully soon we'll see each other again. But if not, I truly do miss you. Mama D out.